News Paxful partners with CoinLogiq to introduce crypto-ATMs in Colombia. Cryptocurrencies are being widely adopted by many countries across the globe. Curiosity is turning into adoption in many countries as many individuals have started realizing the benefits of digital assets. In Latin America especially, the crypto trend is gaining momentum. To strengthen its position in Colombia, Paxful has always wanted to diversify its offering. Paxful had already empowered users to buy and sell Bitcoin, not only in United States dollars, but also in Colombian pesos. Moreover, Banco de la República, Colombia's central bank, is already part of the distributed ledger technology DLT. In line with this, Paxful today announced that it had partnered with CoinLogiq for installing 20 new crypto ATMs in Colombia. Paxful will integrate the kiosk feature with CoinLogiq's hardware. This way, users will get the opportunity to purchase Bitcoin using fiat currency, credit as well as online debit transfers. Colombia already boasts several Bitcoin ATMs, despite the fact that Banco de la República has a hardline stance against cryptocurrencies. These ATMs are designed to allow users transacting digital assets the same freedom as in when they transact fiat currencies. Also, customers will get to buy Bitcoin using a number of payment methods such as online transfers, gift cards and traditional methods like cash and credit and debit cards. It is important to note that users will get the option to send and receive money using cryptocurrencies with the help of these ATMs. Youssef, CEO and co-founder of Paxful, said, "Latin America has real heroes in the CoinLogiq crew. They genuinely care and are focused on real use cases. This is what makes Bitcoin real and a part of people's daily lives. We are proud to work with them." Currently, Colombia is experiencing a surge in cryptocurrency adoption, and it is evident from the interest of Colombians towards adopting digital currencies. Marshall Islands to issue state-backed cryptocurrency. Despite IMF pressure, the Marshall Islands isn't backing down from the intense political and economic pressure from the IMF to not abandon the US dollar. Year-long plans by the Republic of the Marshall Islands to escape its dependence on the US dollar and issue its own state-backed cryptocurrency could soon become a reality. David Paul, the minister in assistance to the president of the Marshall Islands, published an essay on Wednesday in which he explained why the country is moving forward with its plans. According to the Post, Minister Paul will provide further details about the Marshall Islands crypto, the sovereign, next week at the Invest Asia 2019 conference. But the road to the sovereign for the Marshall Islands has not been easy. The idea for its very own cryptocurrency first surfaced in February 2018 after the passage of the country's Sovereign Currency Act of 2018. This quickly placed the Marshall Islands on the radar of crypto enthusiasts around the world, but it also caught the attention of the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Within months, the IMF began putting pressure on the Marshall Islands to not forego the US dollar in favor of its own digital currency. The fund issued a 58-page report in September 2018 and warned against the potential costs arising from economic, reputational, AML-CFT, and governance risks associated with the issuance of the sovereign. In its report, the IMF advised that authorities should seriously reconsider the issuance of the digital currency as legal tender. That advice, however, was widely perceived at the time as a threat, given that the tiny island nation relies heavily on other countries for economic aid, especially the United States. 2 months after the IMF's move, a group of 8 legislators introduced a motion of no confidence against Marshall Islands President Hilda Heine. One of the reasons cited in the action was her decision to issue an official cryptocurrency. Heine ultimately survived the vote, and the idea for the sovereign remained alive, flying mostly under the radar until Minister Paul's announcement earlier this week. Paul reiterated the fact that the country's digital currency is intended to reduce the Marshall Islands' dependence on the US dollar, which the country has used as legal tender since 1979. Sovereign tokens, he explained, would be issued on a blockchain with a fixed growth on its supply to ensure a monetary policy that is more transparent and less prone to manipulation. As for what happens next, the ball is seemingly in the Marshall Islands court. But one thing seems certain, the little island nation isn't going to be intimidated out of pursuing its sovereign crypto aspirations. Istanbul hard fork may lead to broken Ethereum contracts. A change to gas costs slated to take effect with the impending Ethereum hard fork may cause some contracts to fail. That could be okay. At the August 23 Ethereum core devs meeting, Martin Holst Swen was unapologetic about the ramifications of Ethereum improvement proposal, IP 1884, one of 6 changes being made as part of the 8th Ethereum hard fork. "So, yeah, we know it's going to break things, theoretically," he said, summing up the issue. After discussing IP 1884 2 weeks ago, the core devs today determined that the testnet hard fork will go ahead around October 2, but they declined to set a block number for the mainnet in case more things break than expected. Specifically, IP 1884 will raise the gas cost of underpriced opcodes, i.e., the instructions within smart contracts. The argument for doing so is straightforward. As the size of the Ethereum network expands, certain smart contracts used by dApps are using a lot of computing power but paying relatively little in terms of gas costs to compensate. According to the IP, written by Swen, that discrepancy creates vulnerabilities. It could be used for attacks by filling blocks with underpriced operations, which causes excessive block processing time. It continues by noting the practicality of the change. Underpriced opcodes cause a skewed block gas limit, where sometimes blocks finish quickly, but other blocks with similar gas use finish slowly. If operations are well balanced, we can maximize the block gas limit and have a more stable processing time. It makes sense, then, to up the gas limit. The problem, however, is that some contracts are coded in a way that relies on the gas cost staying the same. Swen points out that this isn't best practice. After all, the Tangerine Whistle hard fork, which superseded the DAO in late 2016, changed one of the opcode gas costs from 50 to 200. It was reasonable for smart contract developers to assume costs might rise again. Swen also notes that, after IP 1884 is implemented, default functions, one method smart contracts use to transfer Ether, might also fail, disabling wallets or only allowing payments below a certain limit. One developer present at the August 23 meeting was Parity Technologies' Wei Tang. He's worried. He argued in the meeting, and in subsequent tweets, that the developer should take steps to avoid accidentally freezing contracts before Istanbul. Primarily, he pushed backward compatibility. To simplify, applying backward compatibility would more or less grandfather current contracts in at their current gas cost while putting new contracts at the post-hard fork rates. And it's completely doable, Tang told Decrypt. Backward compatibility is an implementable feature on Ethereum EVM. The reason why we're not doing that in Istanbul hard fork is mostly due to time restraints. Tang said that governance issues have taken long, so meteor changes like IP 1702, which is backward compatible, have been set aside for a future hard fork. Hudson Jameson, who organizes the core dev calls, wrote later on Twitter, "It can be argued that, by making this breaking change we are ripping the band-aid off in a way, so people will be better prepared for even more drastic changes that are needed for state size management, like state rent." But Tang is worried that the band-aid might rip off some skin. While he says the IPs in Istanbul are mostly simple ones, he worries about the PR consequences of contracts breaking bad. In the meeting, he raised the specter of the Parity multisig hack from 2017, which prompted Parity to float the idea of a hard fork to unfreeze 500,000 ETH stuck in a wallets linked to a frozen contract. And while security concerns have been part of the reason behind the push to get Istanbul running, Tang suggests that not taking the time to pursue backward compatibility has its own risks, which could manifest in a network attack. This can be done by developing smart contracts that don't seem vulnerable and then proposing gas cost changes that render them dysfunctional. If the effect was hidden, or core devs were convinced that the backward incompatible change is acceptable, Tang told Decrypt, then the malicious entity can disrupt the network or steal user funds. The issue of IP 1884 re-emerged in today's meeting, with some small degree of consensus forming around the approach. After Tang reiterated his view, Swen agreed that the devs should be ready to make right any unintended consequences, but not for contracts from developers that have seen this change coming. "I definitely think that, if we break things, we should fix it afterwards." Yes, Swen said. "But I do think that in all the cases where it's just, oh, it's hard, we need to upgrade to a new contract, and it's a pain in the asses, I don't think that needs fixing. I think they need to take that pain and go through with it because they need to change the behavior of the contract." Joint platform of XuperChain and Qingdao Arbitration Commission was launched. Qingdao Arbitration Commission and XuperChain jointly launched a digital platform for arbitration cases handling and digital evidence. Recently, Qingdao Arbitration Commission and XuperChain jointly launched a digital platform for arbitration cases handling and digital evidence. This is the first digital evidence platform based on 5G network slicing in China. Its blockchain technology is supported by Baidu's XuperChain with timestamp and AI for seamlessly connection with digital proof sources. In this way, digital evidence can be transferred and acquired with usage of hash function by the platform, which solves the problems that digital evidence can be and is easily falsified, difficult to obtain and authenticate. Hence, it will be possible to handle a large number of arbitration cases in an intelligent manner. It is said that this digital arbitration platform will improve its system in terms of digital evidence storage, acquisition, showcasing and citation. Key information needs to be stored and uploaded to ensure data consistency. If evidence is demanded in an arbitration case, smart contracts or a blockchain browser will cite one's own proof. The originality and completeness of the digital evidence are guaranteed. Lastly, arbitration judgments will be presented. Top Bitcoin casino MintDice offers provably fair gaming alongside unique investment options. Bitcoin casino MintDice is the latest iteration of fast-paced cryptocurrency casinos delivering a new concept of fair gaming via blockchain-enabled provably fair betting algorithms. MintDice delivers unique opportunities to be utilized by both player and casino by tapping into the intrinsic feature of blockchain technology. MintDice will ensure a transparent and trustless ecosystem where players are not taken advantage of. As a throughput solution to trust issues within casino systems, MintDice is set to build solid trust between gamers and crypto casinos by allowing players to review their bets and know they are playing on reliable casino each time they play on online slots, Plinko or the upcoming Power Mint Bitcoin lottery jackpot. Investing in a casino. The platform is also set to offer unique investment opportunities for players to leverage. These offers on MintDice are risk-free methods of generating passive steady income thanks to the confidence of the operators willing to guarantee returns on investment. The first option is the MintDice Masternode staking investment mechanism that enables cheap investment opportunities in shared masternode pools where users will receive profits based on their investment size and staking proportion. Following the masternode staking investment mechanism is another technique called Be the Bank. This is also a zero-risk investment that allows users to receive a share of 15% of each wager placed on the casino. User profit will be calculated on how much they hold on MintDice. Both masternode staking and Be the Bank are designed to provide risk-free income opportunities with guaranteed returns for MintDice users. On a mission of democratic gaming, MintDice is set to become the flag bearer of transparency in crypto casino with a unique and simple interface designed for everyone regardless of their level of experience in casino games. MintDice will act as a risk mitigator, offering adequate protection for the casino against unlikely but possible series of massive losses, while players can enjoy MintDice cryptocurrency bankroll and winnings on the platform. MintDice cryptocurrency bankroll will support a crowdfunding approach to enable users to place larger wagers which would not be possible with self-funded bankrolls. This strategy will increase the size of pot for players playing in the pool. As part of efforts to develop unique and value-added services, several features such as a rewards program and social games touted as brand new first-to-market will be released by the end of 2019. MintDice CEO Bryce stated, "We are relatively new to the scene in what seems like a somewhat sleepy market, but we are slowly gaining interest that is fairly apparent on our back-end sheets and trust in the community." MintDice, the next evolution for DICE. MintDice already has major features and services and many more surprises in the pipeline. Visit MintDice website here and help yourself to free crypto with their Bitcoin faucets. Analysts at U.S. financial services giant JPMorgan Chase reportedly said in a note to clients on Thursday, September 5, that stablecoins have the potential to grow substantially, but there is the risk of payment system gridlock, particularly during periods of stress. They also had special concerns regarding Libra. According to a report in Bloomberg published on 5 September 2019, the JPMorgan analyst said that, although the total reported market cap for all stablecoins is under $5 billion, these low-volatility altcoins are destined for fast growth, especially Libra, Facebook's proposed cryptocurrency. However, the analysts warned that there is the risk that they might grow too fast and get subjected to bottlenecks since they do not have sufficient short-term liquidity, which is a feature of other payment systems. Stablecoins, and Libra in particular, have the potential to grow substantially and ultimately shoulder a significant fraction of global transactional activity. However, as currently designed and proposed, they do not take into account the microstructure of operating such a payment system. The risk of payment system gridlock, particularly during periods of stress, could have serious macroeconomic consequences. And with regard to Libra, they pointed out that there is also the risk of negative yields. Any system that relies on reserve asset income to fund operational and other ongoing costs becomes unstable in a negative yield world. With more than half of high-quality short-term sovereign debt already negative, the vast majority of the remainder made up of U.S. government securities, and trends pointing towards global monetary easing, a fully negative-yielding Libra reserve has become a plausible, some would argue likely, risk.